Having to come to a new city as a student, it is really overhyped. Who will I tell? I almost kill somebody because I don't understand French language.
Hey, I hear me, me.
Hi guys, welcome to Story Time with Lauretta, and I'll be talking about my experiences so far moving abroad, how it's been, the challenges. This is not to discourage you, just in case you might hear certain negative things. Okay, you can still do what you want to do. This is just me sharing my experience. So when I first came here, the first challenge I got was accommodation. Nobody told me that you had to pay like everything at once. Like, you pay your rent, deposit of the rent. Sometimes they ask for 2 months deposit. That month's rent plus 2 months deposit, plus it depends. Some will ask you for signing fee. If you're using an agent, they'll ask you a signing fee. So much money all at once, because in my mind I just felt like if you're going to rent an apartment as a student, you just pay your rent and that'll be it. But to my surprise, it wasn't like that. But as God will have it, He made a way, and yeah, finally got an apartment. So that was my first challenge with transportation, because first of all, I am terrible with knowing where I'm coming from or where I'm going when it comes to roads, and having to be in a new city, a new place with language barrier, it was crazy, because I couldn't even ask like, okay, this is where I'm looking for. Sometimes if you ask them, you realize that some of them don't understand English, and so can be really frustrating. So it was really overwhelming for me, having to come to a new city as a student. It is really overhyped, I think, because the educational system is different from yours. So you are trying to adjust to education, you're trying to adjust to culture, you're also trying to adjust to the people, you're also trying to adjust to the environment. Like, it's really overwhelming. Then language barrier, oh my god, language barrier is something that's French language is not easy to learn. Even if you stay here for a couple of years, it will take you some time to even like pick it up. Okay, so language barrier was you see, the language barrier, it cuts across almost every single thing. Like, it's crazy, it cuts across almost every single thing here. So it's just really crazy. Let me tell you my first language barrier issue that I can remember. So a friend said he wanted water and I should get him water. Went to the supermarket, I bought what I thought was water and I gave it to him, and he was like, this is not water. And I was like, that's water now. Look at this water. He was like, translate what is on the bottle. Do you know what it was? Vinegar.
Hey, I hear me.
I bought vinegar and not water, and that kind of vinegar is not the one that you drink. It's the type that you use to clean, like, harsh things. It's not the one that you can drink. I was just like, oh my god, thank God this person didn't drink it, because how will I explain myself? Who will I tell? I almost kill somebody because I don't understand French language. So if you are considering coming to France, have it at the back of your mind that language barrier is an issue. You understand? If you are willing to learn a new language, it will just be like a barrier for a while, and subsequently you get ahead of it. Then school, to be very honest, with the challenges that I faced in school, the challenges were just the fact that my courses are in modules, and so like my lecturers, they're like visiting lecturers, so they come like as many times as they need to cover the module, right? So let's say that the modules are going to be covered in 3 classes. What they do is that they come for that 3 classes and cover everything, which means we have like 6 hours, about 6 hours of classes at once, and it's a lot to take in for my brain. But those were like, it was a challenge. Most times I'm like, oh my god, I'm lost. But the good thing was that my lecturers are really good. So even when you feel like you're not listening, you're actually listening, like you're actually learning. Then that challenge was the whole online system of writing exams. Sometimes I'm so scared. I'm like, what if I submit this exam in the wrong place? What if I submit this assignment in the wrong place? Things like that. But the best thing you can do for yourself is, in that kind of situation, is to have somebody in class that you talk to, or people that you ask questions, because honestly, you cannot know it all. You cannot even know anything. It's not even about knowing it all. You can't really know much because it is your first time of being in that school. Okay, so it's gonna be like a little bit sketchy. Let's get to the good parts. The good part of it is that I love Paris as a place. To be honest, Paris is a wonderful city. Every time I go into the city, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I stay here. It's so sweet. It's such a sweet place. Like, every time you go out of Paris, every time you go into Paris city, you see something different. Like, it doesn't matter if you've passed that street before, there's always something beautiful to see. There's always something magical. Like, it's a magical city, and it is not an overhyped place to live. It's not an overhyped place to visit. It is a really, really wonderful place. So every time I'm in the city, I'm like, wow. I'm always like, wow. Like, it blows my mind. Like, it drives me crazy, literally. Then the people are, sometimes you can meet warm, conversational French people. Sometimes you can meet French people that are nonchalant. But I think it's a human thing. It's not a way like a French people thing, I guess. But yeah, French people can be really conversational, and they can be really like nice to talk to. For me, the nice things that I have noticed are just the people, the place, the culture. Oh my god, the culture. French people preserve their culture. Like, oh my god. See, they have respect for their culture. If you saw the previous upload that I had, if you didn't watch it, it's here. To be either here or here, one of them. Okay, just click the link here and go and watch it and continue this video, because that building, it looks so new, but the artworks that are there, you see, like 1900, 16 something. I'm like, what? They preserved this? Like, what? That's good. And I also noticed that they are very respectful. They are really respectful. I'm not even going to lie. French people, they can be blunt, but they are respectfully blunt. I also noticed there was a time I was in the bus, and there was this elderly man that came in. The tram was full, so there were no seats for anybody to sit down. And immediately this elderly man came. A very young girl, maybe if she's too old, 29 or so, she stood up from her seat and told the man to sit down. I've seen it happen like a lot of times, like maybe 3 or 4 times. I've noticed it happen. Like, they respect elderly people, and it is so beautiful. Then another time I saw, there was a guy, he just came from the hospital. You can tell that he just came from the hospital. He was limping on one leg, and I noticed that the moment he entered, somebody stood up for him to sit down. It was so sweet. I was like, wow, these people are really considerate. Oh, me, I'm a nice person. Oh, I think so, but I don't think I would think about it. Like, it's not something that would occur to me in that moment. Like, I should stand up for somebody else to sit down, because when I'm going home, all I can see is my home. I'm just thinking of going home. I'm not really noticing things like that. So seeing them do those kind of things, they're really, really nice. Okay, let me see. Is there a way that this has influenced me? Yeah, I think staying in France for the past 4 months or so has influenced me in the way that I now know that respect is not an African thing. You know the way Africans carry elderly people on their head, you know, sometimes it can be annoying, and some of those elderly people, they take it for granted. But to be honest, it's not, respect is not an African thing. Like, it's not an African thing at all. Respect is global. It's not like I don't know respect is global, but seeing it in another, from another race, in another culture, is just so beautiful. And another thing I think that France has influenced me in is that I've also, meeting people from different parts of the world has also taught me that, you see, this thing called relationship, and how we always used to battle about a woman being submissive, I don't need men, you know, all those kind of toxic feminism that you see on Twitter. It doesn't really exist in the real world, but I don't want to go into that. A lot of women that I have met here, you see most of them that they're like, they came to France, they moved to France for their partner. They moved, as in, these are people that are not even married, they're just dating. You see a lot of people doing this thing. You see I've met women that tell me about them cooking and cleaning. Like, they're like, I have to cook before I leave the house, I have to clean the house before I leave the house, those kind of things. And I'm like, wow. And we always talk about it in Africa, like as if it's such a bad thing for a woman to cook and clean for her man just because they're dating, like, or even when they're married, you know. So seeing that this thing is a global thing has really, really opened my mind, and it's influenced me to believe that, honestly, in that department, a lot of women are more submissive than social media likes to paint. So yeah, I think that's just it. I'm gonna cut it now. I've talked enough. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you want to see more story time. I liked talking to you about this. I liked sharing my story. So if you want to see more of this, I need to like this video, okay? Right now, like it, subscribe, share. I'd like to have fun on this channel. If you have not subscribed, join the family. So I see you when I see you. Bye guys.